Hi, it's Anne. Thanks for joining me at Home with Imagineer. I have some flannel board stories for you today, and I'll show you how to make your own flannel board too. So if you like, you can continue playing with these stories at home. So at the library, we use flannel boards to play guessing games and counting games with kids or to help tell a story. After story time is done, I'll leave the flannel board out and the kids will come up and they'll retell the stories or replay the games. Many library parents can attest to the fact that kids really enjoy repeating the rhymes and hiding a felt mouse behind a little colorful house or a snowball behind a mitten and having the adults guess over and over and over again where it's hidden. So I'm going to show you how to play this game. Although it might not be the right season for mittens and snowballs, it's what I have at home. So we go like this. Snowball, snowball, cold and round, behind which mitten can you be found? Blue. Nope, not back there. Snowball, snowball, cold and round, behind which mitten can you be found? Pink. Nope, not there. Try again. Snowball, snowball, cold and round, behind which mitten can you be found? Purple. Nope. Not behind purple. Snowball, snowball, cold and round, behind which mitten can you be found? Orange. And there it is. So this game is good for learning colors and memory too, because I'll put the mittens back up after they've been guessed and the kids will have to remember, oh, well, blue was already guessed and it wasn't back there. For little kids, you could go ahead and take them down so they don't have to, so it's easier. Let's see, we also do this with a little felt mouse and a colorful house, and we say, little mouse, are you hiding in the orange house? And go through it that way. So that was a flannel board game. So I'm going to start the flannel board storytelling off with Pete the Cat and his 4 groovy buttons. And I'm going to read the story but I'm going to use my little felt board that I made up. So I'll get that set up and then tell that story. Pete the Cat and his 4 groovy buttons, written by Eric Litwin, art by James Dean, who's also the creator of Pete the Cat. Pete the Cat put on his favorite shirt with 4 big, colorful, groovy buttons. He loved his buttons so much, he sang this song. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons, my buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. Oh no! One of the buttons fell off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 3. 4 minus 1 leaves you 3. Did Pete cry? Goodness no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. Boing! Oh no! Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 2. 3 minus 1 leaves you 2. Did Pete cry? Oh, goodness no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My buttons, my 2 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 2 groovy buttons. Boing! Oh no! Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 1. 2 minus 1 leaves you 1. Did Pete cry? Goodness no. Buttons come, then buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My buttons, my button, my one groovy button, my button, my button, my one groovy button. Boing! Oh no! The last button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 0. 1 minus 1 leaves you 0. Did Pete cry? Goodness no. Buttons come and buttons go. Pete looked down at his buttonless shirt, and what do you think he saw? His belly button. And he kept on singing his song. My button, still have my belly button. My button, still have my belly button. And it just goes to show that stuff will come and stuff will go. But do we cry? Goodness no. We keep on singing. Buttons come and buttons go. The end. I love that Pete the Cat song. The next story I want to retell using felt is Go Away Big Green Monster. This story helps kids learn colors, words for sizes, different parts of the face, and about fear. It would be a great one to add to any flannel board collection. Your monster doesn't have to look anything like this one. I'll reset my board and let's get to it. Go Away Big Green Monster by Ed Emberely. The big green monster has a big green face and 2 big yellow eyes and a long bluish green nose and a big red mouth with sharp white teeth and 2 little squiggly ears and scraggly purple hair. But you don't scare me, so go away, scraggly purple hair. Go away, 2 little squiggly ears. Go away, long bluish green nose. Go away, big red mouth with sharp white teeth. Go away, 2 big yellow eyes. Go away, big green monster, and don't come back until I say so. In those 2 flannel boards, I used felt to make the pieces, and then also some, you can see the puffy paint. Also, if you don't have felt at home, that's okay. In this next story I've got for you, I still use felt for the background, but the pieces for the story are all made out of paper. It is the classic story of the very hungry caterpillar. I checked it out from Montana Library to Go, thinking I would read it to you and use the flannel board for the pictures. But when I checked out the book, I found that it was a version where the author, Carle, reads his book aloud for us. So here is the ebook version, The Very Hungry Caterpillar, read by the author, with me trying to keep up with feeding that caterpillar with flannel board pieces. Let's see how this goes.
The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Carle. That's me. In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on a leaf. One Sunday morning, the warm sun came up, and pop, out of the egg came a tiny and very hungry caterpillar. He started to look for some food. On Monday, he ate through 1 apple, but he was still hungry. On Tuesday, he ate through 2 pears, but he was still hungry. On Wednesday, he ate through 3 plums, but he was still hungry. On Thursday, he ate through 4 strawberries, but he was still hungry. On Friday, he ate through 5 oranges, but he was still hungry. On Saturday, he ate through 1 piece of chocolate cake, 1 ice cream cone, 1 pickle, 1 slice of Swiss cheese, 1 slice of salami, 1 lollipop, 1 piece of cherry pie, 1 sausage, 1 cupcake, and 1 slice of watermelon. That night, he had a stomach ache. The next day was Sunday again. The caterpillar ate through 1 nice green leaf, and after that, he felt much better. Now he wasn't hungry anymore, and he wasn't a little caterpillar anymore. He was a big, fat caterpillar. He built a small house called a cocoon around himself. He stayed inside for more than 2 weeks. Then he nibbled a hole in the cocoon, pushed his way out, and he was a beautiful butterfly.
So in that version, I used the computer to print out some of the colored pieces. And some of them I printed out on a color printer, and some we colored by hand. And on the backs, I glued sandpaper, and that allows the paper to stick really well to the flannel board. Sometimes people use bits of stick-on Velcro too. So to make your own handy-dandy felt board at home, you're going to use a box like a pizza box. Actually, a pizza box would work really well, but I didn't have one. And then you glue a piece of flannel to the inside of the lid of the box, and then you can store all the pieces for the stories in the bottom of the box, which makes it nice and tidy. Bye, Pete. So I hope you enjoyed today's flannel board story time. And as always, thanks for watching.